I'm about to show you the absolute basics of Taekwondo. We're going to do everything from a proper warm-up to your first kicks. If you've never done Taekwondo before but want to learn, or just want to understand how this martial art works, this is the place for you. Starting with our bow. Our bow is split into two parts, chariot and kunye. Chariot means attention, and when you hear that, you're going to go into black belt, which means you're going to have your feet together, arms to your side, and stand up straight. You want to be listening for the next instruction, kunye, which means bow. When you hear that, you're just going to bow from your hips. Now, let's practice that. We're going to walk around like nothing's happening, just waiting for a command, and chariot, feet together, arms to your side, stand up straight, and kunye, bow at your hips. And with that, you have learned how to bow in Taekwondo. But before we get into the fun kicking, we need to warm up properly. And to get a good warm up for Taekwondo, you need to understand that Taekwondo is a kicking martial art, meaning our warm-ups need to be focusing on our legs. So let's start with a few jumping jacks. I recommend 20 of these. Now I want you to take one of your legs and step forward with it, and with your other leg, swing it up and down with a straight leg. That's going to be 1. And I want you to do this swinging motion 5 times. Once you do that, I want you to use your same leg and swing it in a circle. I want you to do that 5 times, and then do both of these with your other leg. And to wrap things up, I want you to do a few arm circles to warm up your arms. Now you are almost ready to launch your first Taekwondo kick. But before you do that, you need to get in the proper stance for throwing a kick. And to do that, I want you to decide which leg you're going to kick with. And with that leg, step forward. Now I want you to look down at your feet and turn them diagonally, about 45 degrees from where they were. And now I want you to bounce on the balls of your toes. This is so we can move easier and get to the best position to kick in before we throw our kick. And to finish things off, I want you to bring your arms up to guard your body from incoming attacks. This is going to be our fighting stance, where we throw all of our kicks from. And speaking of kicks, we can now learn our very first kick, the front kick. This kick is very, very fast. You can throw it at a moment's notice, and your opponent will barely have time to react to it. To do it properly, I want you to take your back leg and turn your foot so it points to the direction of your target. And then plant your heels so you have a solid base for kicking from. Now I want you to take your front leg and pull it up. This is what we call a chamber. We're bringing our leg into the best position to kick from. Now I want you to snap your leg forward and come back into this chamber, and then land. Congratulations! You have done your very first Taekwondo kick. That wasn't too hard, but what a lot of beginners get wrong is not chambering and rechambering their kicks. So that first step and last step is very, very important. Make sure you don't go straight up with your leg. Otherwise, your leg will have to work harder, your kick will be slower, and your opponent will have a lot more time to block it. This chamber will also make it easier to land and move into our next kick, the side kick. While the front kick is a very fast kick, the side kick is a very strong and powerful kick. This kick can do some serious damage. And to do it, I want you to take your back foot, and instead of pointing it towards your target, I want you to point it away from your target. Now I want you to take your front leg, and we are going to chamber our side kick. But a side kick chamber is a little different than a front kick chamber. Instead of coming up, we're going to pull our knee into our chest, and then lean over on your bottom leg, and extend your leg. Pull your leg back into the chamber, land. Now the side kick is going to be a bit harder than the front kick, because you have to lean over and it requires a lot more balance. But if you have good balance, this kick will do a lot of damage. And to help with that balance, you should always remember to turn your foot away from your opponent. That's very, very important. Lots of beginners don't turn their foot, and that's why they have a hard time balancing. And our next kick requires just as much balance. And you might have heard about it, the roundhouse kick. one of the most popular kicks in all of martial arts. While it's not quite as fast as a front kick or powerful as a side kick, it has one very big advantage over the two, making it the most powerful kick in Taekwondo sparring. It's very sneaky and easy to slip through an opponent's guard. Now this kick is quite a bit similar to the side kick, so we're going to turn our foot the opposite direction as our opponent and chamber similar to a side kick. But with a side kick, you pull your knee in. With a round kick, you want your knee out. And then you're going to snap your leg forward like this and come back into your chamber before landing. I've seen a lot of people confuse a side kick with a round kick, and the important difference between the two is realizing that a side kick pushes forward while a round kick kind of slaps your opponent on the side. And when you're throwing them, their different chambers will really help amplify this effect. So please, please, please focus on the two different chambers for these kicks. Keep a round kick far away from your body while keeping a side kick close to your body. Congratulations! You have now learned the 3 basic kicks of Taekwondo. But if you want to take your kicks to the next level, I have 3 drills to improve speed, balance, and power. For your speed drill, I want you in your fighting stance, and I want you to pull your knee up into your chamber as fast as possible. Regardless if it's a front kick, side kick, or round kick chamber, I want you to get to that chamber as fast as possible. I don't want you to kick, just chamber. Bring your leg up, hold it there for a second, and let it down. Even if you do this just 10 times per leg, your speed will increase by a lot. For power, I want you to find something to hold on to, like a wall or a piece of furniture. Now that you have some extra support, I want you to come into the chamber of whatever kick you want to drill. Now I want you to slowly extend your leg from the chamber, and then slowly bring it back in. This drill might be a little difficult, and if it's too hard for you, feel free to lower your kick height. You can always work up to it. And like with the last drill, if you do it 10 times per leg, you will get some more power. And now for the balance drill. I want you to come up to the chamber of the kick you want to drill and just hold it there for 10 seconds before letting your leg down. But if that's too hard, you can use the same wall or piece of furniture that you used in the power drill for some extra support here, and try to rely on it less and less the more you do this drill. And now if you just get in your fighting stance every day, do some of these kicks, and do these drills, you can improve relatively fast. And I challenge you to do just that. Try to do these drills every single day for about a week, and then tell me in the comments how it felt doing them. But that's all I have for today. You now know the very basics of Taekwondo. I hope to hear about your progress in the comments, and I shall see you next time.